All right, Zach. So, what we wanted to do was a quick episode. Well, I'd say it'll be quick. It may end up being long about the 2025 season and sort of what we did in ELR Southeast and Thunder Valley and Pitts and Deep South. Just sort of how the 2025 season, looking back on it, it in retrospect, and just do. We're here at the end of the year, and I just want to encapsulate it a little bit and talk about what we've learned from ELR this year and doing this series. So I guess the first thing we could talk about is how the series even came to be. I don't know if you want to start or want me to start.
Yeah, sure, sure. I think it was, a collaboration between you, myself, and Joe Burdick. He was really the one that is drove hard to get some unity and gather a few venues along the East Coast here. I know it was him running down there with you and at Pitts and Moccasin Valley and just
Right.
trying to get enough matches together at these venues that we could create a small series, and I think it's really starting to grow. What we have, five regular season matches and a
That's right.
finale this year, so
That's
that's
right. Yeah. So it ended up being five. We kicked it off with Pitts in February. We started with that one. And that was really, I mean, when we started that, we sort of had the inklings of this could turn into a series, but we hadn't really, it was really starting to come together there. And the idea was sort of hitting that, hey, let's make this a series that at the end of the year, shooters will have something that their individual match performances can count towards. I think that was sort of the nexus, and again, we just growing ELR and having ELR available, we wanted it to count for something, at the end of the year, and especially here in the East, and so we kicked it off with Pitts. That was in February, and Pitts is a venue that is it's only available part of the year because it is not a full time firing range. It is it's
active
agricultural
farm.
primarily. Yeah, that's right, and it's a unique venue. It's near my house. It's sort of a home venue, if you will, even though we don't ever get to shoot it hardly. But it's unique, I think, in that your firing line moves and you fire one direction and it's out to 1,900 yards, and that's usually day one for us on a 2 day match. And then you will rotate and fire a different direction for day two. And that presents some challenges. I know in Pitts this past year, we did light gun just on day one instead of even doing day two. I think is right. I think we stopped. Yeah, yeah. We did light gun on day one instead of doing a 2 day in light gun. And that's mainly because Pitts starts at 1,000 yards, and for heavy gun and possibly for light gun, you ultimately can get out to over 2,600 yards, a little over a mile and a half. I think Pitts in the spring we were about 2,660 or so is where that final target ended up being. And only heavy gun went out that far. Part of the challenge of Pitts is you don't have berms, you don't have feedback around all the targets, and that can make it challenging. Um, there's also, because of the natural terrain there's a big gap between you can get out to that 1,900, but we don't really have any targets from 1,900 to about 2,250 yards. And as you know, there's a lot of things that happen in ELR to different cartridges and bullets and everything from 1,900 to 2,250. There are
Yeah,
a
you're
lot
getting
of
in that
things going
transonic zone for
transonic.
a lot of them.
Oh yeah, yeah, and that's part of the reason I think Joe decided to not take ELR, to not take light gun further in the February match, just because the hit percentages are so low, and it was better to do it. Now we didn't have as many shooters. I think that was our lowest attendance. I think is right. You said this year.
Yep, yep. Pitts, and like I said, because it's starting to grow. You guys, look
Sure.
what you guys are doing in the deep south. It's
Yeah.
not for a lack of shooters. I think some of it is still that scary. I mean, when we get into the national level matches like what you have at Pitts there, the entry fees are a little higher.
Right.
And I think you're still scaring people a little bit with all this is competition and you're I think what you're doing with arena and deep south is going to be good because these people are going to realize that we're just a bunch of hillbillies that like to shoot guns at really far away stuff, and that nobody is there to make fun of you for not. We all want you to succeed and grow with the sport.
Yeah, we all have missed a lot more than we've hit, most likely,
Exactly.
you know. And so yeah, it's a very welcoming sport as far as that goes. And so Pitts, I think what light gun we had 13, and
Uh yeah,
is that right?
13
And
in that first match.
yeah, and
And you
heavy
had 8
gun
heavy.
8 heavy, yeah. And you know that's fine. Like that's fine turnout. We're gonna hope it keeps going up. It was a good group of shooters. I know on heavy gun, was it Dan Brock won it, and
It,
he's won matches in the past. He's had really good results, good at shooter, and then Dale Dials was second, if I
yep.
remember right.
David
And then,
Atkins.
yeah, so I mean those three guys right there are a wealth of ELR experience and are all fine shooters. And then we had a couple of new shooters. I think that was their first match at that one as well, even in heavy gun. And so it was good to have people willing to come out and try it as their first one. I know on light gun, I somehow snuck out of there with a win by like
Wow.
80 points,
Hey,
you
buddy.
know, over Johnny Brown, which was just pure trash. Like I mean, any one impact would have changed that real far. And I think Christy Maxwell was third, like right there behind us.
Well, I said, yeah, I actually am able to look at that, and I said, like, you had 29,480
Yeah,
points. Johnny Brown was 29,175, so he was only what 300 points, a little less than
yeah,
300
yeah.
points, and there isn't a target out there that's 300 points.
No,
And,
the 1,000 yard target is the lowest one. You know.
and Christy was at 28,200.
Yeah,
So even she was within 1,000 points
yeah,
of Johnny,
yeah.
which is
Yeah.
one
One
impact.
impact. Yep, that's right. One impact anyway would have changed that match. So you know it was a good match. It was a fun match, and then Pitts was great. We had a good time, and then I'd say our next one was what Moxon Valley.
No, next one on that was we brought in Thunder Valley
That's right.
after
That's right. So
having a
tell me
slight
about Thunder
venue
Valley.
change.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Well, we had started out we were going to have that match in PA, and 10 days before the match, the venue got a hold of me, and they're like, this is conflicting with one of our other regular customers, and
Hmm.
we got to not do this." So
Yeah,
I luckily had a pretty good relationship with Tom Sarver at Thunder Valley over there in
yeah. Thanks,
Coshocton.
Tom. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
man, great guy, passionate guy about long range shooting. He and Joel from Terminus Actions will tell you uh, they were doing long range before long range was cool or anybody even knew what it was. When people were getting excited about shooting 1,000 yards, those guys were shooting a mile.
Well, yeah,
We're kind of like the grandfathers of the sport. So it was really great to be able to bring something like this to Thunder Valley and get people at that venue. And Tom has been really great about opening up his doors
yeah.
and saying, "Hey, bring your show in here, bring your guys in here, let them use the facility."
Gotcha.
Uh,
Now that's in Ohio, right?
that's in Ohio, Coshocton. I want to say southeastern Ohio. It's in that Guernsey County area, like where the
Right.
Guernsey cows come from.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Uh, you know, it's but it's not flat. It's definitely hilly country, very very similar. But that was our second match. That was in April, I believe.
Okay. How'd your attendance go for that match?
We did really well, especially having to switch at a
Oh
really
yeah.
last minute. We struggle a little bit with heavy gun up here. Last minute, it was also right there around Easter, so we were fighting an uphill battle there. But uh, yeah, we ended up having I think 7 or 8 um, heavy gun shooters. Justin Linebaugh, he hails out from out west. He's one of the out west shooters.
I got you.
Uh, when he has KPR King Peak rifles,
Okay.
uh, and he's a good friend also with Joel from Terminus. And yeah, he come out and shot with us, representing the west.
Now,
Uh,
what kind of distances did you have at Thunder Valley?
at Thunder Valley, in heavy gun, we started a mile, uh, 1680 ish, something like that.
Yeah,
And it goes to 2450.
nice,
Um, so that you get a little bit of distance there. Uh, Everything has pretty good backstops. You're going to get pretty good feedback. That's one thing about Tom. He is a grass fanatic. He goes out there and treats that place like a golf course. Uh,
nice. Yeah. Good
they
firing line there.
good. Everything's under roof.
Oh
That's
wow,
one nice thing is we're able to run 2 day matches in a single day there, both light and heavy.
right,
We can get up to 5 stages, 10 targets for light and heavy,
right,
and get them completely in. Mainly because on our light line, which is 100 feet from the heavy line, they're a little different firing position to be able to get the extra distance for heavy gun.
I
But
got you.
his main firing line has been there for years, and it's got a big pavilion. We've got electricity there, so even if weather moved in,
Hmm.
there's places to find shelter
Oh, that's
there.
great. That's fantastic.
Even
Yeah,
though some of those places they have shelter, but if the wind gets bad, somebody's still getting wet. Here, this place is big enough, and uh, because of the bench and prone positions available, we can
yeah,
put like 40 people on the line at one time. Nobody has to move their stuff. You can see all the targets from your location,
right.
and everything stays perpendicular to the line of fire, direction of fire, so you don't have to
Okay.
move people around to keep the yardages the same. From one end of the firing line to the other end of the firing line, the range doesn't vary 2 or 3 yards.
Oh, that's fantastic. What how did the shooters do? Who won that match?
Well, in heavy gun, Justin Linebaugh,
Yeah.
he come down there and he put a clinic on. Uh, we ended up with and you see it a lot now, a 36.7% hit percentage.
Okay.
Uh, that was what he had as the winner. And heavy gun, when you shoot out the distances at 2,500 yards, that's pretty good. About a third.
Yeah. Yeah.
Keeping about a third of your rounds on, a little better than a third of your rounds on target.
Right.
Um, he was followed by Steve Oberlander, which was a good friend of Joel's as well, and Joel Russo of Terminus. He
Nice.
rounded out the top three in heavy there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, Over on the light side, Jeff Raymond, he's a Thunder Valley regular. He won it, with 63.3%
That's good
uh,
shooting.
in impact, and that's the biggest difference in that
Hmm.
is light gun there starts at 1,000 and runs just past a mile.
Right. Right.
Uh,
Gotcha.
this coming year, we're hoping we extend that out, and the overlap between light and heavy is somewhere around the 2,100 yard mark.
Oh, that's good.
Uh, the other nice thing about being able to run both divisions there, light and heavy at the same time, uh, we're able to give some of our light guys the opportunity to shoot heavy with their light gun if they want. Uh,
Nice.
that's been a big help too, because a lot of those guys have the visions of grandeur, like, well, I can go up there, and they're not wrong. A 33
Yeah.
XC, very capable at 24, 2,500 yards, but once you start shooting past that 2,000,
Right.
the light guns that thought they were invincible with their 75% impacts see that drop off dramatically once you start. Well, I've only added 200 yards. I've only added 300 yards.
Yeah.
I've added 500 yards, and it might as well be on the other side of the
Yeah.
earth.
ELR is not linear. You know.
All right, and especially at a place like Thunder Valley, it's
Yeah.
built very similar to Moccasin. In fact,
Yeah.
they have the same direction of fire, within 20 degrees from start to finish.
I got you.
Uh, Elevations are very similar, and terrain. I would say Thunder Valley is a little hillier,
Okay.
uh, in the fact that you have more terrain to affect where that wind is. So where you feel it coming from, or where your weather app may tell you it's coming from,
Right.
maybe feel completely different only because it's bounced off two hillsides before it actually got to you.
Yeah, that's tricky. That's a hard thing for shooters to ever get a hold of. So yeah,
Well, we have a lot of fun with that.
yeah,
Like I said, that was our second match of the season. So
gotcha.
by
And,
April, we had two matches in, one at Pitts, one at Thunder Valley. And Tom was really happy with how everything ran there. He was told us to come on back, so we ended up having uh, not only a few more of the series matches there, but he wanted me to run a series for him, and we're probably going to do a very similar thing this year, where Thunder
nice.
Valley will have pretty much a one a month. I want to say a smaller match. It'll be a 30 round, six target, uh, three stage style match. That
Nice.
we can run again. It'll be all one day. It'll be a Saturday or it'll be a Sunday, and we'll run a series for what we call like a regional series.
Yeah,
You
yeah, that'll be
know,
good.
about $125 match fee versus the 250, and
Gotcha.
uh, but it'll be a fun thing just to be able to use Thunder Valley a little more often and give the local guys a chance to come out there
Yeah,
and
yeah.
shoot. Uh,
And so let's see. And so we had that one, and then we went to Moccasin Valley in April. Was right. Well, that was the first Moccasin Valley precision
yeah,
match.
it was like 2 weeks
Yeah.
later.
Okay. Oh wow, that fast. Yeah.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
were right on top of it, and that just happened to be, as like I said, this is a living organism.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how that kind of happened. We ended up with Moccasin Valley being like 2 weeks after that, and that may or may not have hurt some of our numbers. We'll talk about some of
Sure.
that, but I thought we
So
still did pretty good. Thunder Valley all season long averaged 26 light gun shooters
oh yeah.
per match, which is uh pretty good for a new venue.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
To get that body of shooters to come out and came to those matches. So yeah, we moved on in April, like 2 weeks later, down to Moccasin Valley. We had uh, 22 heavy shooters.
Nice.
Uh, that's a good crowd of heavy shooters. Uh, that was the Atkins show. David Atkins winning it, followed by Hunter Atkins and Joshua Axford snuck in there and pushed Dakota down to fourth there. But you could have covered them all pretty. David put on a good show there. He come in with 58,244 points. Uh,
what was his hit percentage?
74%.
74. That's yeah.
Seven,
And that goes out. Let's see, Moccasin Valley goes out to 23 something on his yardage.
2360. Does
Okay,
that sound
okay,
right?
that's pretty. Yeah, it seems somewhere right around in there. So that's
Right.
that's pretty good then to get. Yeah, I mean, three out of every four shots almost on plate. That's
Yep.
that's a good showing.
50,
That hats
50
off, Mr.
rounds,
Atkins. Yeah,
37 of them found a plate.
yeah, yeah. That's impressive.
Uh,
Um,
yeah, there in light gun, man, this guy had a really good season. Dwayne Squires.
oh, Dwayne's a shooter.
Yeah, he did. He went almost undefeated. Everywhere he showed up, he was winning.
Man,
Uh,
Dwayne's the man. What was his? How did he do it in Knoxville Valley the first one?
well, that was very interesting. 74%
Really?
impact. 37 rounds found a plate out of 50.
Do you remember
Uh,
what the longest light target was? Where'd they stop? Was it
um,
19 something, 1920 or so?
I want to say it's 18. It's
18 something.
just
Okay.
shy of 19. I don't think they quite
Okay.
get to 19.
Okay.
We've argued that with Joe, and he's been the voice of reason.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
he's another one that, and I think we both agree. We'll talk more as we go along. I would rather see hit percentages in that set. That 74, 65 is
Right.
telling me when you're hitting it more times and you're missing it,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's repeatable.
We will have an in-depth conversation in video one day about what we think is important in ELR. But to move on with the 2025 season, what was our next one after that?
We had summer. That was in July in uh, Thunder Valley. We were back there.
How were your shooter numbers at that one?
we did much, but we had 13 heavy,
Nice.
which was nearly double from our first attempt at it. Hey, and a shout out to David Randolph for winning that one.
Nice.
Uh,
Yeah.
that was that was
Dave's a heck of a shooter. Yeah.
I think that was his first ever win.
Oh, really? Yeah,
He
yeah,
he'd been
yeah.
he'd been close. In fact, he left. He didn't even realize it. We called him while he was on his way home, and he didn't believe us. The Atkins got a hold of him and said, "Hey, Dave, you won that match." He's like I thought he had to pull over. I
Yeah,
think
that sounds
seriously,
like
yeah.
David Randolph. Just go ahead and get out of there and find out he's the winner later. So yes, 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 David.
But he was really excited, and he was right at 50%.
Nice, awesome,
Uh,
awesome.
well, like I said
How? Who
again,
was second and third on that?
uh, Dakota Atkins and Joel Russo coming to rounding
All
out the
right.
top three.
Oh, Joel Russo with Terminus, one of our sponsors. That's awesome.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep. And then Justin Linebaugh came back from out west. He's been doing a good job at representing the West Coast and keeping us
nice.
honest. I know. I think it's more fun. I hope it's more fun. They're always the West guys are. They usually get a little more distance, and they'll
Yeah,
tell you, "Oh well, we can get out further." So we're gonna come there and we're gonna stomp you. Well, he's one of the best there is, and
yeah.
we still made him earn it when he did.
Nice, nice. How'd Light Gun go? Who brought that one on?
Justin
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
his 338. I think he was shooting at 338 KPR.
Nice.
That's one of his own creations
Oh, that's
there.
got to feel good to bring your own monster there and win with it. So
Yep,
yeah.
yep.
We got second and third.
Richard Pierce, he had a really good season this year. He's relatively new to it, and good friend of mine, Mike Drake, he rounded out the top three there.
Nice,
Those
nice.
guys were 78, 76, and 70% hit percentages.
Man,
Uh,
that's fantastic.
a lot of those guys, keep in mind, we had 10 targets.
Yeah.
Mike Drake managed to put a first round on 8 of them.
Oh wow. Yeah. Yeah.
That was mighty impressive.
Man,
He
that's
went
that's having your dope and trusting your data. So
and making those other guys. He kept the heat on the front there. I mean, he went 8 out of 10 on first, 8 out of 10 on second, and 8 out of 10 on third round impacts.
man, salute. That's awesome. Yeah. What
So yeah,
and so that was good numbers. What was our next one? Was it Moccasin Valley again after that?
it was back to Moccasin Valley in September, like 1 week after that.
Oh
So
wow.
so
Yeah.
both of those ended up being really close together, and yet we still managed to have decent numbers. Like I said, back there in uh, we ended up 24 shooters in that light gun
Yeah.
at Thunder Valley in that second match, uh, and 23 the following week, and over a third or half of them had just shot the week before
Oh, nice.
at,
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
Thunder Valley.
That's great to see. That's great to see.
Uh, Yeah, so yeah, but there at Moccasin Valley there in that September, I think that was funny. He was all ready for that. That was August. He had that called the Summer Sizzler or something, and it was
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
like in the 50s.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Who
I
who brought home heavy in that one?
oh, nobody's ever heard of this guy before, Nathan Harrison.
Yeah, who? New shooter?
Oh yeah, he's another one of the OG guys.
Nathan is fun to watch run a rifle. Like
Oh
you talk
man,
about somebody that can run one. I mean, if you're a new shooter and you're in a match with Nathan Harrison, watch him shoot.
oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Once he hears impact, it's bang. You think he has a
yeah.
submachine gun.
That's right. That's right. He's shooting gas gun on ELR.
Right.
Yeah. So he
Right.
got first. Who got second?
David Randolph followed
All
that win
right.
up with a second the very next week down
That's a heck of
there.
a week. Yeah, heck of a 8 day spread for
Yep,
him.
and both those guys, 68% and 62% impact rate. Dale Dials rounded out the top three there.
Oh, nice. Nice to see one of our Deep South guys getting back up there, after the Pitts match. Nice to see him near the top again.
He's
And
another one
yeah,
like that. He shoots the big 50, doesn't he?
yeah, I think so. I think that's what he's running now. How was Light Gun in that one?
Light gun. Oh, there we go. We're back to double it up when he's there. He wins.
Yep.
Dwayne Squires.
Yeah, yeah, of course, man. He had a hot hand for sure. What?
and
How was his hit percentage?
76%.
Golly, man, that is
And
fantastic. Who was second on that?
Joe Latta. Now
Oh yeah,
he started shooting ELR this year.
yeah, Joe. I was very impressed with Joe. It was a pleasure to get to meet and know him. And Joe is an awesome shooter.
He is a great
Great,
guy.
yeah, great addition to the ELR family. I'm thrilled Joe had the season he had this year.
And right behind him, slow and steady, Dave Posky.
Oh, now you talk about a good man who also happens to be a good shooter. That's
Yep.
Dave Posky.
Salt of the earth there.
Yep, yeah, he is just a phenomenal dude. I think if I remember right, I think that was the match that he had only dropped one round through the first three stages.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. It was. I was his spotter, and I didn't have to do anything. I just had to say impact.
Right.
It was ridiculous. Like watching him shoot that match was just that was a true privilege to see him shoot it. And we had several people with just impressive scores like that through day one.
Right.
So
right.
that was impressive.
Mike
That was
Drake
good.
ended up fourth. He
Yeah.
so many times this year he was right there, third, fourth, third, fourth.
Yeah.
He just couldn't break in there. But I mean, yeah,
Well,
when you got guys that are separated, like I said, those guys again out of 50 rounds, 38 was your winner.
yeah,
37
yeah,
and 37 were second and third.
yeah,
Only one shot separating these guys.
yeah. Well, and that brings up a good point because we're now that's four matches, right? Or yeah, and we're getting to the finale.
Well,
And
that's into the fifth one. That rounded out. Yep.
yeah. And so you mentioned Mike Drake being consistent. That's part of what we wanted was somebody who's consistent, even if they don't win one, but they're near the top. That we wanted to have a finale that let those consistent shooters be in it, you know. And so tell me about the finale. Like how so we did Moccasin Valley again. That was in September, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And we did it where was it what was it the top 20 or 25 in points? Walt the prize. You had to shoot two matches to qualify.
Two matches and two venues
At two different venues, right? And those people, the way we did it so that we opened it up to more people was those people would walk the prize table first, but the match was open to anybody.
Correct.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So we the way we did the scoring, and we'll get into scoring mechanisms, but just very briefly, if you won a match, you got 100 points, and then everybody under that was a percentage based on their score compared to the winner.
Right. Well, because the ELR people liked big numbers, we went with 1,000.
No, that's right. It was 1,000. That's right. And then we looked at those scores, and that's how we ranked people for the finale.
Right.
So tell me about the finale. How many shooters? How
that ended up being the biggest match we had of the year. 41 shooters in light gun.
Nice. Yeah.
41 shooters in light gun and heavy. We had 22.
Nice. Good.
Which was another good field of shooters for heavy. Our heavy guys travel pretty well and pretty consistent.
Sure.
Those numbers stay pretty consistent. But so if you think about it, we had 87 different shooters in light gun through 6 matches at 3 different venues from February to September.
That is that's good numbers to have. I mean, it's just good to know that. But it's great to see that many unique shooters, and there's
41 of them shot in the finale.
Yeah.
So almost half of the people that shot at least one match that year shot the finale as well.
Yeah, that's good. That's what we want.
I'd like to see those numbers grow to like 100 shooters. A pool of 100 shooters that we're pulling.
That's right.
For the year. And like I said, we'll talk about that a little more.
So on the finale, on the match, because that was a standalone match, and then your scores from that would count 1.5 times toward the series, right?
It was weighted. Is what they call weighted.
Yeah. So who won? Let's go through the match results first, then we'll go into the season. So who won heavy as the match?
Mr. Adam Lane.
Adam Lane, man, yeah, you talk about another just fantastic guy. I mean, ELR community's full of people, but Adam, I think that was his first win, if I remember right. I think I remember him.
He was another one that was knocking on the door every match. If he wasn't there, he was right on the edge, or he had a catastrophe happen where he was running the gun and it was burning it down, and on day 2 the wheels just come off the wagon.
Yeah.
I think one of them he went to muzzle loading because every time he shot, he was knocking cases out. That was like in the middle of the season. He had a string going, and all of a sudden started getting stuck cases.
Yeah. Well, and Adam does it right. He works hard at it. So I was thrilled to see him walk away with that victory. That was fantastic. Who got second in that?
Oh, a guy we don't hear him near enough. Dave Posky.
Dave Posky. Yeah. Yeah.
Dave Posky and my spotter,
Yeah.
Eric Jones rounded out the top three there. He
Nice. Yeah.
he he had been shooting a 300 PRC and he hadn't shot. He's pretty much a heavy shooter, and I talked him into hanging in there. And like when we shot Thunder Valley, I'm like, hey, shoot a light gun, shoot a light gun. So
Yeah.
he'd been
Yeah.
shooting a 300 PRC, and he'd been doing okay with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, but the barrel just went south on him right before that match. Uh, like I said, even the finale here was close to a match that we'd had at Thunder Valley as we rounded out the season. And
Yeah.
he on a whim said, you know what, I haven't shot my 338 in years.
Yeah.
I'm gonna dig out the old load and I'll switch to it and use it because the 300 PRC just isn't
Yeah.
predictable
Yeah.
enough. And dang, if he didn't end up third there, and like I said, here's what's really impressive: the winner at Thunder Valley, Adam Lane, or at Thunder Valley or Moccasin Valley,
Yeah.
Adam Lane, 84%. That means 42 out of 50 of his rounds found the plate.
Man. Yeah. That's a phenomenal percentage. Like
And
it's amazing. Yeah.
and he couldn't breathe easy because Dave Posky was right behind him at 41 out of 50.
Golly.
And Eric Jones was at 40 out of 50.
Yeah. Yeah.
And back to, oh, this is a guy you don't hear. I don't know, a guy named Sean Rhodes
Yeah.
ended
Well.
up fourth there at 39. So they're like, 42, 41, 40, 39, 78% hit percentage.
Well, that's like one of those is like circle which one doesn't belong, and I would be the circle one. Now, how'd Heavy do in that weekend? Who brought that home, and how were their percentages?
Heavy, what is that? Heavy gun? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
No, we like our heavy guys. They're a breed of their own. But yeah, Steve Oberlander put on
Okay.
a clinic, 35 out of 50 impacts at 70%.
Nice for a
Uh,
heavy gun and
and
those yardages.
he'd never shot Moccasin Valley. He's a good friend, like I said, of Joel Russo from
Yeah,
down
yeah,
there, and he's like, yeah, I'll shoot whatever you put in front of
yeah,
me, Joel.
yeah. That's right. That's right.
Uh, yeah, 82,300 points, 35 out of 50. And then
Nice.
again, you don't see their names in there much. Hunter Atkins come home second there, and Scott Kierstead. He had a
Oh
pretty
yeah,
good season. He was always knocking on the door there. And those guys finished at 64 and 60% hit percentages. Again, very respectable. Anytime you can get, I talked to Dale Dials. He's always a good guy to talk
yeah,
to,
yeah.
and a wealth of knowledge. And I'm like, well, what do you shoot for, Dale? And he says 80%. He said, yeah, my goal is 80% or better. And I'm like, man, you're not going to cut yourself any slack, are you?
That's right, man. Give
But
yourself a break. Take a vacation every now and then, Dale. Good Lord. You
when
know.
you think about the pressure and the distances, I mean, he's another one that shoots out there mid 25, 26,
Yeah,
2,700
yeah.
yards and he's a good one at keeping it right there.
Yeah.
Uh,
So how did that translate? So let's to transition into the finale. We're getting close on time. Got probably about 5 minutes. How did that transition to the series? Tell us how the series ended up shaking
uh,
out.
in the series, in heavy, I'll cover it because it's a little smaller group there. David Randolph won the series. I'm really happy for him because again, he was
Yeah.
another one that was always been like the bridesmaid, never quite there. But here's where it gets interesting. You look at so David Randolph won, Hunter Adkins finished second,
Yeah.
194 points behind him.
Over a whole year.
Well, best of
Right. Right. Right.
best of
Yes.
two plus the finale. So three
Yes.
scores
Yeah.
went into making the
Yeah,
series for those guys, and the winner was separated by 194 points.
that's a
Uh,
ridiculous spread. Yeah,
right, and then points back from Hunter to David was another 157 points.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Uh, it was close, and then Dakota was right behind him, and Justin Linebaugh behind him. You know, he's another one that made that trek all the
yeah,
way
yeah.
out there. But yeah, those were some really good numbers for uh,
Well, and not surprisingly, names that you saw near the top in earlier
right
matches, that consistency paid off, and you saw it in the finale. You saw them finish for the series, and that's
there we
that's what
go.
we wanted. So
Yeah, and then
I
so
like
real
it.
quick, we'll try to wrap it up here. You know,
Yeah,
in the series, uh, Adam Lane ended up winning it.
yep, yep.
Uh, and
And that,
and again with a separation of only 160 points
yeah,
back to
yeah.
this guy Sean Rhodes.
Right, yeah, yeah. Again, super lucky there. And then who was third this year?
Eric Jones and Dave Posky finished by Mike Drake there. He's always
Yeah,
hanging out that third, fourth, fifth. There, he's knocking on the door, and just to show you how it could shake up. You know, Joe Latta and Dwayne Squires,
yeah,
as far
yeah.
as the series were 1 and 2, I think separated by like 5 points or 25. It was stupid close between them,
That's right.
and they just didn't have the match. You know, like I said, Adam Lane shot his butt off.
Yeah,
Eric
yeah,
Jones shot his
yeah,
and Dave Popsky, you know, in that finale, you right there, and were able
yeah.
to close that gap.
Well, and that's what basically, and those top five. I mean, you're maybe two impacts over
Right.
a
Not
match that changes it. You know, over the earlier match. I mean, it's a toss up on any of those people, basically.
absolutely, yeah. You're
Yeah,
looking at a very little. You know, like I said, 160 back to you from Adam Lane,
yeah,
only 79 to Eric Jones, 54 to Dave Posky.
yeah,
You know, incredibly tight.
yeah.
Uh,
And that's what we want to see. I mean, I think overall. So trying. We got about 2 minutes left. Trying to sum up the year. Success or not? What do you
yeah.
say?
Like I said, 87 different shooters in light gun, 41 of which showed up to our
Yeah.
finale. I think that was really good numbers. Looking over at heavy guns, I believe we had like 39
Mm-hmm.
different shooters to pull
Yeah.
from. 22 were at the finale. I mean, that's a really high percentage, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, I looked at it real quick too. You know, we had 27 of those 87 shooters in light gun
Yeah.
come to 3 different matches.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
You know, so and that, you know, most of the time was like 2 at Thunder Valley and 1 at Moccasin, or 1 at Moccasin, or 2 at Moccasin and 1 at. But to
Yeah.
get, you know, that's a third of the field came to a third of the matches,
Right.
or a
Right.
little better than a third of the half the Masters. You know, 6 matches total, counting the finale,
Yeah.
and 31% of those shooters showed up.
Yeah.
36% of our heavy gun shooters showed up to half of the matches. So
That's great.
the heavy gun, they're dedicated. Their
Yeah.
numbers
Yeah.
aren't strong, but they're dedicated.
Yeah. So we got 1 minute recap. So that was 2025. I agree. I think it was a total success for us. The first year doing it, we appreciated the American Rights Movement being a sponsor and Terminus being the titled sponsors for it. I mean, those guys made it happen. But at the end of the day, we can't do it without our shooters, and we had just phenomenal groups of shooters in both classes that
Yeah,
just made this
and
thing run.
thanks
So,
to those 2 sponsors that you mentioned,
yeah,
between the finale and a couple of the matches we did at Thunder Valley, gave out
yeah,
over 10,000 in cash.
yeah. Well, Zach, we're about out of time, but I want to tell you, hey, thank you for the data. That's going to recap our 2025. We're going to do a 2026 episode to talk about what's coming in the future. And we'll try to get that out soon. But man, thank you for talking with us tonight, and look forward to having this discussion with you again soon.
Yep,
All right,
awesome. Can't wait.
thanks. Yeah,
Yep.
man. Bye.